And on to part 2. I swear I can see the end. It is almost in sight. But first, we gotta talk about these last 12 games. Many of which are far better than the shovelware that we've gotten. Some, not so much. But let's start with LEGO Lord of the Rings. I was looking for this for the PS3, but you know what? The Wii will do. Join the battle in the greatest adventure ever built. You want to take part in Lord of the Rings LEGO style? Sure, go for it. Why not? The only thing I don't particularly like about this game is that this was sort of the trend of when LEGO games started to become silly. Like, instead of it just being like the original LEGO Star Wars, where it was just like grunting and that's about it in terms of character, this was when the LEGO started to talk. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not that. Kind of irks me, especially when they're recreating scenes from the movies and they're using lines from the movies. Look, nothing will ever beat King Theoden's speech right before the Battle of the Pelennor Fields. But they, like, ruined poor Boromir's death. Like, Boromir dies in such a comedic way in this game, it's kind of insulting. Boromir's death is one of the best parts of this franchise. And just to see it not taken so seriously, it's kind of a letdown. But hey, like I said, I'm an optimist. It's still a fun, well-played LEGO game, and yes, we will be Let's Playing it at some point. But I'd rather go back and finish the stuff I have to do for LEGO Star Wars first. On with the show. And boy, do we got a doozy today. Pokemon Battle Revolution. The last of the truly needed, I guess, Pokemon battling games where you basically fling rentals everywhere. This was basically your need. If you wanted to put your own DS team on and put them into competitiveness, this was where you trained your competitive team. Take on Coliseum challenges. You have access to all DS games, including Heart Gold and Soul Silver, all through basically up to Gen 4. And I'm actually considering doing a Let's Play of this with my own team that I'm using in the Heart Gold playthrough, but it's gonna take a little bit of time to put together, especially since I haven't picked up my DS in a few friggin' weeks, few months actually. Hello, Brawl. We'll get to you in a few moments. Next up is Fortune Street. Now, for those of you who have not known what I've been talking about in my Birth by Sleep Let's Play, where I say it's just Fortune Street. Fortune Street is basically Monopoly, except it's more about stocks and accounting and all that. The objective is basically to rule the board. And if you rule the board, you'll have the most money and you'll win. It was originally just a Japan-only property until they decided to release this particular game in the United States. It's a crossover between characters from Final Fantasy series, specifically the Dragon Quest characters, and the Super Mario characters. Now, I have fun with this game, but I know it's not for everybody. It's Monopoly. There's a lot of moving around and strategizing and shuffling and rolling luck that a lot of people don't particularly like, but hey. We had to have a game like this come out eventually, and in case you're wondering which character I use all the time in this game, well, it's Bianca. Mario Super Sluggers is up next. Now, we all remember Super Sluggers. I did an LP of it not that long ago. Well, very long time ago, actually. Almost 5 years. And you know what? It's just as fun as I remember. It's more advanced and more dynamic than the original Mario baseball game was. You have better access to team building. You could develop characters better. It's just an overall a better version of Mario Superstar Baseball. Plus, all the stadiums aren't just the same stadium with gimmicks. Like, Wario Stadium in this game is like a bandbox where you can hit home runs left and right. Meanwhile, you go to Peach's place and it's basically a pitcher's paradise because you can't hit home runs in that park. I mean, you can, but it's like really, really, really hard. But I digress. Poke Park 2, Wonders Beyond. Now, I have the original Poke Park as a virtual console release on my Wii U. This one is basically a somewhat expanded version of that idea, in that you have regular Poke Park, and then you have Wish Park, which is the big story area where you have to save the world from, I don't know, it seems like it's a Gothitelle that's trying to take over the world. Yeah, just keep shoving those Gen 5 Pokemon in my face. I'm sure I'll love the generation even more. But the one good thing about this game is that you don't just have Pikachu to play as you had in the first game. You can also play as Oshawott, Tepig, and Snivy. It's fun. So far, I don't think I've unlocked Tepig yet. I just recently beat the grass area. And I have Oshawott, Pikachu, and Snivy. I still have to get Tepig. I don't know why they always save the fire one for last, but whatever. It's a fun game. Definitely one that's made more for kids than adults, but hey, if you love Pokemon, I say you'll probably enjoy this. On to The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess. Originally released for the GameCube, but revamped and released for the Wii. Do I like it? It's pretty good. I kind of enjoy it. I don't like the fact that they forced the motion controls on you for this, like they did for Mario Party 8, but the game looks great. I really enjoyed it when it first came out, but since then it's something that I really have to get into. I guess that's just like me with most Zelda games, with the exception of the Wind Wakers and the Toon Link ilk. It's definitely a good game, just not one I hold that dear to my heart. Super Mario Galaxy 2. I don't have Galaxy 1. Well, I didn't have Galaxy 1 until Super Mario 3D All-Stars came out, but now I do have it. And I've played Galaxy 2 a couple of times and know that it's sort of a somewhat revamped version of the original Mario Galaxy. And that means I'm kind of in for a good ride when I play 3D All-Stars soon. Which I think is still in my Switch, now that I think about it. And I should go get it, but you know what? Don't care. I think so far I'm just going to be looking at the boxes. And you know what? This is a very good game. Some say Odyssey is better. Some say the original is better. I enjoy this one. I have not played the original in a long time, so I'll have to take a good look at it. And maybe we'll see if my opinion on it shifts. From one of the greatest games of all time comes a sequel that I haven't opened because I want to play through the full Tales of Symphonia adventure first before we play through this one. This is Tales of Symphonia, Dawn of the New World, a sequel to the original Tales of Symphonia, and part of the Tales series, 10th anniversary of the series beginning. Symphonia was the one that was the most profitable. This one, a lot of people thought was weird. And though they don't have a lot of positive thoughts for it, so hopefully that'll change. It doesn't seem like Lloyd and Colette are at the heart of this journey. So maybe we'll just have to wait and see. I've never played it, so I personally don't know. I've seen a couple of video footage of... Let's try that again. I've seen a couple of videos showing footage of the game, but I haven't really played it myself, obviously. So I'll just have to wait and see. Mario Sports Mix. Now, this is the game that Panda and I play every time we're together. Why? Because we just love this game that much. So much so that we scored 200 points in basketball, of all sports. Absolutely bonkers. But Mario Sports Mix is basically just a tournament for 4 various sports. In this case, hockey, volleyball, dodgeball, and basketball. And they've got a few Final Fantasy characters sprinkled in there, which is weird. And it's not like Final Fantasy. It's not like Kingdom Hearts. It's just like some of the generic early Final Fantasy characters, as well as a couple of Dragon Quest characters. Does it say that this game was made by Square? I'm not seeing it. It does say it in the game. It does say it when you boot up the game that Square had a hand in it, but oh well. You'll get a couple. You'll get like a white mage or a black mage and a Slimer and a Moogle, but you won't get like Sid or Cloud or any of the super character people. They save those for Kingdom Hearts. And boy, do we still gotta look at Kingdom Hearts. Super Mario Bros. Wii, or I'm sorry, New Super Mario Bros. Wii. It's not really new anymore. They should get rid of that, but either way. New Super Mario Bros. Wii is basically Super Mario Brothers revamped and brought to a new lifestyle here on the Wii. It doesn't require Wii motions to work. It plays with the Wii remote being held on its side, and you can play with up to 4 characters if you want. You get new power-ups, you get to go fight Bowser. This one's a very fun game. This is not one I recommend you do with other people, though, unless they're competent. Lord, I played this with my younger cousins, and we could barely get out of the first fortress because they didn't know what they were doing. And I can't really do it on my own when they're taking all the power-ups. Just saying. It's a fun game, but just don't play it with other people. Here's a game you play with other people. Mario Kart Wii. I haven't played this in years. I brought it with me when I went to go to Panda's dad's house for a weekend in May, but we never played it. We ended up playing Brawl the whole time when we played the Wii. And when we weren't doing that, we were playing on the GameCube, where we played Mario Party, Mario Kart, and Carfax Asphalt, for obvious reasons. Mario Kart Wii uses the Wii remote to its fullest as you put it in the Wii wheel, as shown there, and you drive that way. Sometimes it worked, most times it didn't. So you're probably better off using a GC controller or a classic controller. Me personally, I use the Wii wheel because why the hell not? That's why they made the game, and by gum, that's what you're supposed to play with. Shame on those otherwise. And here is one of my all-time favorite games, period. Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Duh. Combining elements of of franchises from all over Nintendo's ethos, including Kid Icarus for some reason, and including the first ever third-party characters to be introduced in Smash, being Solid Snake from friggin' Metal Gear Solid, and of course Sonic the Hedgehog. And then, well, it has the best, to me it has the best reason of existing. It has the best campaign mode, has the best everything. This is the best game in my opinion. Smash Ultimate will probably grow on me, especially now that Sephiroth is a playable character. But to me, this one stands a bit of a better spot because I love subspace in this game. I love how broken it is, and I've learned how to use Pikachu and Lucas fluidly in this game. This is where I trained. The Wii U version was where I became a good, decent fighter. Ultimate is where I became a pro. Last and most certainly least, just kidding, is MLB Power Pros 2008. A revamped version of the original MLB Power Pros. It has a lot more recent rosters, well, by 1 year. A few new perks to it. It's got an interesting thing. Like I said, the only big issue with the MLB Power Pros games is you really have a hard time developing characters properly. The story mode where you make your own baseball player is so rigged against you to the point where you'll basically have like a third of the stats you really want. It's just, it's a disappointment, but I do enjoy this game because of the cartoony aspect. It's got fluid mechanics, and it's really easy to master, even for people who aren't particularly good at sports or sports games in general. But that wraps up my Wii collection, thank the merciful heavens. I gotta decide what I'm gonna do next. We're either gonna look at the PS3 games or the Wii U games. I don't know. But keep drinking your Owen's juice. Owen's juice. He wants his juice. He'll never get it back.